Assetto Corsa is a car racing simulator, currently one of the most popular at that. There are countless videos of serious racing, drifting and casual driving. The game boasts a very active modding community, but for some reason, if you search for Assetto Corsa stunt videos, nothing comes up. I find that strange. Stunts have been a staple of car games ever since I can remember, making appearances in game series like Need for Speed, Midnight Club, Forza, BeamNG Drive, and of course Grand Theft Auto. Although GTA is not exclusively about cars, but who doesn't remember the infamous GTA San Andreas stunt videos from back in the day? Did gamers lose interest for such a fun aspect of the game? A big part of this missing link can be found in the Assetto Corsa modding forums. If you ever try to make a stunt map, many modders will quickly tell you, for example, that it's impossible to make a loop in Assetto Corsa. The game just is not made for that. It just doesn't work. And they might have a very good reason to say this, but nonetheless, I want to give it a try. And so, this video is about why it's impossible to do stunts in Assetto Corsa and how I still did it anyway. First of all, I had to learn how to make a map in Assetto Corsa, since there aren't really any stunt maps already made. And making a map turned out to be pretty simple, really. The most popular track making software is Blender. That's what I used. To make the road, you create an object and name it 1 road 0. If you want a second road, it will be 1 road 1. The same naming scheme applies to other objects as well. For the grass, name an object 1 grass 0. Curbs are 1 curb 0 and 1 curb 1. This barrier is 1 wall 0. You get the point. We can also add trees or any other track decoration. Then the last part. We need to add the pits position, the start position and the checkpoints, left and right. We can place these in the appropriate places of the track wherever we like. For this example, I'm just placing them all more or less in the same spot. And that's all the basics. I don't want to get lost in the details of how to use Blender, so let's jump ahead after applying the textures. And that's it. Now this track will be completely drivable soon. We just need to export this as an FBX file, open the native Assetto Corsa track editor, which is called KS Editor, located in the game files. Here we do some texture and light tweaking. Export the final result as a .kn5 file to our final track folder. Copy the track folder over to the Assetto Corsa tracks, and there we go. Now we can finally play in it. I left out some pretty big details about how this works, but now hopefully you have the basic knowledge of how a track is made for Assetto Corsa. So let's get to the real issue at hand. What happens if you turn the road into a loop? And why are all these community members so convinced that it doesn't work? Well, there is only one way to find out, really. Tighten your seatbelt, because there might be some turbulence. I wasn't expecting that. Amazingly, the car goes straight through the loop. Alright. It seems like the game engine really doesn't like that. This is the first experiment I tried to do in my quest to do stunts in Assetto Corsa, and I was stumped. I couldn't believe it. In a game with such apparently solid physics, how could it be so easy to clip into things and disappear into the abyss? I found a plausible explanation for this, that the road physics simply weren't programmed to go beyond a certain angle. After all, it's supposed to be a simulator game, similar to reality. But Even still, you can do loops in real life. There had to be a way to do it in Assetto Corsa. Nonetheless, I thought I should try something more simple. Go back a few steps and start with something more basic. So I began making a simple jump. After some struggling and adjusting the ramp size and angle, I got this. The canyon in the middle of the mountains is just for dramatic effect. And now it was time to test this jump. Would the car clip into the ramp and go under it? Would it follow the angle of the road and jump smoothly? Alright, let's find out. This jump was a success. Happy with my small victory, I concluded that the car can interact with certain level of slope on a road, but not a full loop, which is quite sad. But then a thought came across my mind. If it's really about the angle of the road, well, what about the wall objects? Clearly, the walls are designed to not let the car go through. A wall shouldn't let the car clip through it, despite the angle of the wall or the angle of the car, right? That's when I started to wonder if I could use a wall object as the loop. Walls should work at any angle. And so I made this track. It's exactly the same as before, but the loop is no longer a road object, it's a wall object instead. Alright, time to test it. Are you ready? It worked! Right, you can make a loop in Assetto Corsa, but you can't make it out of a road, you have to make it out of a wall. Finally, I can say that, contrary to the forum's beliefs, it is possible to make a loop in Assetto Corsa, and you could definitely make a stunt map. I can't say it's easy, because it's really not. And the game physics really don't like it, but why not? After all, in such a heavily modded game, with so many online maps and such a big fanbase, it feels like this is an important missing piece, and I would love to see some Assetto Corsa online stunt servers in the future. Well, that's all for this video. If you are interested, the tracks I made will be available for download in the video description. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next one.